All right. So if you remember, for the recipes, the form is in this form partial. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this form. Now, I will copy this errors portion also, because remember, this will be a model back form, so the errors will be in our object that we pass in. And the errors partial is in the shared folder, so that's available to us also. I'll copy this over, this entire thing, to the end of the div, and then paste it over here, and then render shared errors. Now here, we know that it's at style, not at recipe. To verify that, if you look at your styles controller, this is the instance variable you created, which is at style. And then form 4, and this is not a multi-part, so I'll get rid of all this. It'll simply be form 4 at style. And then we'll leave the first one, which is name, which is the only field that we need for style. We don't need any of this. Okay. And now the submission, it's going to be submit at style, and then basically actually right here, create style. And we don't need any of this either. Now we'll leave the class as button success, and we'll also get rid of this bracket at the end. Okay, well, let's take a look at that. I reload the page. Perfect. Form showing up. Now if I say hello, and then okay, the action create could not be found. All right. So right now it's submitting, but in the styles controller, we see that we have the new action, and we have the new form, but we're not handling the submission, which is post to create, right? So we have to define the create action. Here, let's put in a binding pry to see how it's getting passed in. So we'll go to styles new, and then I'll say Greek, and create style. Over here, params, I see that it's in style params name, right? Okay, so if you remember, we have to whitelist this first, right? So let's go ahead and handle this submission. So at style, we'll follow our standard format. Style.new. Now, in order to mass assign, we have to whitelist it by adding in params require and then permit the parameter that we want to allow. So I'll define a method for that. I'll call it style params. And then let's define that under private style params. Now I want to require the top level key will be style, and permit, the only thing we're allowing is name, right? So it'll be params names, right? So style params. Now let's handle the submission. So if style.save, do something, else do something else. So this is where we usually do render new if there is some kind of error or something, so that it displays it. And style.save successfully, then we want to flash a message. So flash success, and we'll say style was created successfully. And then we'll redirect to recipes path. And that should be everything that we need. So let me actually exit out of this one. Okay, style was created successfully. Let's try that again. Styles new. Okay, we'll say Indian food. So Indian, create style. Style was created successfully. Perfect. And let's see if the errors are showing up. So I'll enter in an empty style. Perfect, the errors are working. Name can be blank, name is too short. If I just put in one, name is too short. All right, perfect. So the errors are working and the style is being same for ingredients. So here, if I type in ingredients new, you see uninitialized constant ingredients controller. So let's go ahead and build that. So under controllers, we're going to right click, new file, ingredients controller.rb. All right, so class ingredients controller, subclass from application controller. Following similar path, it's going to require a new action, and then ingredient equals ingredients.new. Okay, so now it's missing the template. So let's build a template to handle submission, to handle the new ingredient form. Again, under views, we have to create a directory for ingredient. So right click, new folder, ingredients, and then right click again, new file, new.html.arb. Okay, so this is going to be pretty much the same as the new action for style. So I'll just copy this whole thing for style. Paste it here. Now, object for the shared errors will be ingredient. Now we're missing a title here, so I'm gonna guess that there you go. I did not copy the title. So create a new ingredient. Form 4. Ingredient do F, and the attribute is name also for ingredient, and create ingredient. Okay, that should work. So let's see what that looks like. Whoops, I seem to have lost my connection, I think. So I'll have to restart the Rails server again. All right, so all right, let's try that again. Okay, so new ingredient is working. Now, if I type in hello, all right, so the create action cannot be found. Let's go ahead and take care of that. So in the ingredients controller, define create. And we already know that we need to create a method to whitelist the name, so for mass assignment. So we'll call it ingredient ing params. Params require, and the top level key will be ingredient dot permit and then name. All right, so at ingredient dot new and then ing params. There you go. So if at ingredient dot save do something else, do something else. So here, as always, render new, and over here, flash success. Ingredient was created successfully. Redirect to recipes path. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Ingredients, new. Create a new ingredient. If I just submit it without anything, it should give me errors. Perfect. Name can be blank. It's working. If I type in one. Okay, name is too short, so that's working too. So ingredient will say what kind? Rice dishes. No. Let's say chicken. Actually, we already have chicken. I'll say lamb. Okay. Create ingredient. Perfect. Ingredient was successfully created. Now we don't have the show ingredient or show styles routes up yet, or a display page. So I'm gonna test out in Rails console whether what I'm creating is actually hitting the database. Right. So I'll go to Rails console. Ingredient.all. So I see right here, second ingredient just got created, which is lamb, which is what I just created. Now before, I had created a style, so I want to see if that got handled correctly. Sorry, style.all. Style 2, Greek, and then style 3 Indian. Perfect. So for both ingredients and styles is working, and the form submission is also working and being handled correctly by the create action, and we're also displaying the errors correctly.